Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, this is KPI pro tip number... No, I'm not using numbers anymore, so I can put them in all sorts of weird orders and it not mess with my world. I'm simplifying my life. But it is going to be a pro tip about leads, about cost per conversions, and about technology. When Dan and I were growing Triumphant Events, we used to spend about $100, this is a decade ago, for lead acquisition. So we'd put $7,000 into an ad, into a newspaper, remember those? And we would probably have anywhere between 70 and 100 people respond to that ad. So about $100 per lead acquisition. Then we had event costs and all that sort of stuff on top of that. We've probably put about between 5 and 10 grand into the development of the KPI test. So if you go to keypersonofinfluence.com/test, you'll go and see the scorecard, which benchmarks your ability to influence against pitch, publish, product, profile, partnerships, the 5 areas. What that has allowed us to do in the last couple of months, we've done through various partnership strategies where we bundle the KPI, a free copy of the KPI book, and the access to be able to do the online test, the scorecard. We've generated around almost 3,000 leads. So we've got their name, their phone number, their postal address, and their email address. And we've done that for around $12 per lead. $12. Because of the investment in the digital infrastructure, the technology, 5 to 10 grand, we have now reduced our cost per lead acquisition by 10x since what it used to cost us 10 years ago advertising in traditional sources. So for those of you out there that are looking at how do I create more inbound leads, right? My answer for leads is always this: value plus partnerships. So it's product for prospects plus partnerships equals leads. That is the formula for leads. The more money though you invest on the front end, remember income follows assets, into the development of an asset, that asset continues to produce value over time. And in our experience, putting that development into the asset of technology, being our online test, reduced cost per lead from 100 to 12, almost a 10x reduction. That is absolute proof of the yield, the return from the upfront investment in assets. So for those of you still developing your book, still developing your online ecosystem, and maybe even worried about the cost of that investment, don't worry about the cost. Put everything you can into the development of quality assets. So then over time and distance, you'll continue to yield that return. We can open new cities, we can open new territories, and that test, we don't have to put $1 into additional development, and it continues to return, it continues to return. So that's my pro tip to you. Think about really upping your investment into technology to reduce your ongoing costs and the time of lead acquisition. That's a whole other thing, time. Not only has our costs dropped, but when people do that test, when people read that book, right, the amount of time it used to take us to get 10 grand or 15 grand out of someone back in 10 years ago, we had to put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of high-level sales conversations. Now, because that online infrastructure we're building, not only has it dropped the cost per acquisition, but it's rapidly and radically reduced the time, the what do you call it? Sale time thing. See, you don't need to know all these big words. What is that called? We've reduced the sales cycle. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, pro tip. So here's a question for you guys. What technology have you used and developed and implemented that has reduced your sales cycle or reduced your cost per lead? Love to know about it. Just whack it in the comments on Facebook. Awesome.